I have to tell you, I'm with one of the most delightful people on earth. I've always liked her work, and now we're here. But I'm going to tell, I'm doing the introduction part here, all right? In the introduction part, before we get to the book, this lady was, and you're going to see this photograph on camera, is in the arms of Charlton Heston in the Ten Commandments. Now that's a great film to start out on, and she did lots of films and TV westerns, and famous, of course, for being the orphan teenager Sissy on Family Affair, a great popular show. And of course, she's just recently written a book, which will be out soon, that you can go ahead and pre-order, called Surviving Sissy. My good friend, now, are we friends now?
Well, I don't know. I'm still looking for that delightful person you're going to introduce.
Kathy Garver is here. Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I forgot to mention you have a cookbook, too. We're going to talk about it. We'll get to that later. What was it like? We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but the whole Ten Commandment Moses thing, the Red Sea starts to part, and there's Moses holding you. Was that intimidating, or were you so young you didn't care?
Well, it's all in this book, and you can read all about it starting September 1st.
Well, give me 5 seconds.
Okay, I'll give you some real notes. It was exciting, and the Red Sea did close, and we were on a papier-mâché mountain at Paramount Studios, and that they had actually built the Red Sea. They had put great big vats of water on the catwalks, in the catwalks in the stage itself. So on action, it was all supposed to come down, and I was supposed to climb up the papier-mâché mountain into the arms of Nina Bosch. And actually, there is a story about that. I know you have 5 minutes. This will take, maybe 5 minutes. But so they had 3 cameras set up to get this grandiose scene of the Red Sea closing.
Right.
And so there was the camera that was supposed to get the master shot. There was a camera that was supposed to get another angle. And Mr. DeMille was supposed to have one more cameraman way up on the catwalk. Everything was set. I was on my papier-mâché mountains. All the donkeys and the people are going through the Red Sea. Perfect. He says, okay, action. All the water comes down. I climb up. The donkeys go through. Perfect. DeMille says, cut. And he says, camera number 1, how was it for you? Mr. DeMille, I'm so sorry. Camel walked right in front. I missed the shot. You missed the shot? He said, camera number 2, how was it for you? Mr. DeMille, I'm water splashed in the lens. Well, he was devastated at this point. It's been all this time. Finally, he remembered the little guy up on the catwalk, and he said, camera number 3, how was it for you? And the cameraman said, ready when you are, CB. Okay, now we have 2 minutes left. But that's true. I was there.
But everybody in the world has seen that film. I mean, so now they're going to be looking for that story that you told them, I think.
Yeah, they should. It's on every Easter.
But you also did a lot of westerns, TV westerns. Why did you like doing those?
I love to be outside. I write a lot, and so I'm in a little stuffy room. But what I'm really loving to see beginning, I'm doing 3 westerns this year. They're all faith-based, inspirational kinds of family-oriented projects, and I'm just delighted and
Period
thrilled.
westerns.
They're 1800s is Big Sky, which is a TV series. Then I'm doing a movie called Heaven with a Gun. Which is also period, 1800s, 1890s. So I'm glad to see that happen.
I always like to speak with people who were child actors and actresses, and I ask the same question, but I think it'll be a good lesson for folks. How did you stay grounded? How did you avoid the tragedies that befall a lot of child actors?
Which leads me to my 3rd book, which is Ex-Child Stars, Where Are They Now? And that will be out in 2016. And I go through the 50s, 60s, and 70s of ex-child stars, why some of them were able to become successful adults while others, unfortunately, either committed suicide or took drugs, and do a summation at the end. And part of the reason is that the parents don't use the child as their own personal bank and, just dip into it whenever they want. They have an education. So important. I was very blessed and privileged to graduate from UCLA.
Yeah.
I know you, in speech, I know you couldn't tell that too.
Well, I never guessed.
Yes.
I wish you'd come out of your shell.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
So you're very grounded in that. Very quick, one quick question. I'd get killed if I don't ask this about Family Affair. Why was Family Affair so popular?
Well, I think it's because it told such a classic story. It had a classic script where you start out with a problem, you work towards the end, and then, you had the solution. It also was about a never-ending subject, which is love. love never, changes.
Between
And
the siblings and the uncle and everybody, and
Yeah.
and the butler and everybody.
Yeah, we all loved each other.
Great.
Hey,
You know,
I even love you, Jim.
Well, I love you too, and,
Here
and I'll
we
be
are.
leaving my wife at the end of the day.
And my husband, I don't know what he's going to say.
Last thing I want to end on is you've always sort of played older. If you're 5, you can play 10. If you so I'm guessing, and we talked about this before.
No, excuse me. I always play younger, my dear.
Yeah, you played younger. So I'm going to get to this one way. I'm so flustered from being with it. But my guess is now when you turn, let's see, when you turn 100, will you play characters that are 90?
I can only hope.
Let me hold this up again. If you don't have this, pre-order it. Surviving Sissy, the Family Affair cookbook. Hope you'll get that. Family Affair is out on DVD. Hope you will do that as well. To the lovely, talented speech major Kathy Garver, who also does a lot of animated stuff. So look for that on the internet too. A lot of voiceover work, and maybe we'll do another thing on your voiceover work sometime. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Jim.
We'll be right back after this.